Faster my good evening and welcome to the Manx Radio Folk Show with me, John Barker, playing you the best in folk and roots music from the Isle of Man and from all around the world. Well, here we are, continuing our theme of birds for this show. The final track of last week's show was The Blackbird by the Bothy Band, and here is Sam Kelly and the Lost Boys with If I Were a Blackbird.
If I were a blackbird, I'd whistle and sing, and I'd follow the ship that my true love sails in. Oh, and on the top rigging I'd there build my nest, and I'd pillow my head on her lily white chest. It's of a fair young girl, my fortune was sad. I courted her when I was just a young lad. We'd spend time together most every day, but then she was lifted and sailed far away. Promised I'd take her to Donnybrook Fair and buy her red ribbons to tie up her hair. And when she returned from the ocean so wide, I'd take her and make her my own loving bride. Oh, if I were a blackbird, I'd whistle and sing, I'd follow the ship that my true love sails in. Oh, and on the top rigging I'd there build my nest, and I'd pillow my head on her lily white chest. Oh, if I were a scholar, I'd handle my pen and write her a letter, to her I would send a wish of safe sailings and fair winds to blow, and joy to my true love wherever she goes. Oh, if I were a blackbird, I'd whistle and sing, and I'd follow the ship that my true love sails in. Oh, and on the top rigging I'd there build my nest, and I'd pillow my head on her lily white chest. That my true love sails in. Oh, and on the top rigging I'd there in my nest, and I'd below my head on a lily white chest.
That's a particularly nice version of that song, isn't it, by Sam Kelly? I do believe he's got a new album out now. I must listen to that and play something from it soon. Anyway, I've not got much time to waffle tonight. Some of you will see that as a major bonus, as I've got so much great music to play. Here's a rare sighting on the bird front, the corncrake. This is by Janice Burns and John Doran, from their great album No More the Green Hills from a couple of years ago.
First of all, was handsome, young and fair. We had I spent some merry nights way on the banks of Ayr. We had I spent some merry nights way on we Barney Rose, why the echo mows the corncrake among dearly, and disputes we seldom had, as constant as the pendulum, her heart beat always glad. We sought for joy and found it way on we Barney Rose, while the echo mocks the corncrake among are clad with snow that haps the highest wind, when gloomy winter gangs on, summer clears the sky. Oh, we'll welcome back the corncrake, that bard of rural joy.
Well, I followed the corncrake, Janice Burns and John Doran, with a couple of tunes there by Paddy O'Brien. He was an Irish button accordion player and composer, instrumental in establishing the BC style of button accordion playing in Irish traditional music, and was born in 1922 and died in 1991. The first tune there was called The Golden Eagle, which is a tune I really enjoy playing on the guitar. The second one was The Fiddler's Contest, which I won't be attempting any day soon. Now, no one likes to see a bird in a cage, but here's a song of that title by Edgelarks from their Lockdown album, Henry Martin.
As I went out one May morning to hear the birds so sweet, I hid myself in a green shady dell and I watched two lovers meet. You courted me was what she said to you, caught me to comply. You courted me in a merry, merry mood, all night with you I lie. And when your heart was mine, false love, and you hardly on my breast, you could make me believe by the fall of your arm that the sun rose in the west. I wish your breast was made of glass, that alone it might behold. I'd write our secret on your chest in letters made of gold. There's many a girl can go about and hear the birds so sweet, while I poor girl will stay alone and rock my cradle and weep. There's many a star shall dwindle in the west, there's many a leaf below, there's many a curse shall light on a man for treating a poor girl so. There's many a girl can go about and hear the birds so sweet, while I poor girl must stay alone and rock my cradle and weep. There's many a star shall dwindle in the west, there's many a leaf below, there's many a curse shall light on a man for treating a poor girl so. There's many a girl can go about and hear the birds so sweet, while I poor girl must stay alone and rock my cradle and weep. There's many a star shall dwindle in the west, there's many a leaf below, there's many a curse shall light on a man for treating a poor girl so. Sing as lonely a song as any little bird in a cage. Or 12 long months astray, is gone just 15 years of age. Oh, I can sing as lonely a song as any little bird in a cage. Or 12 long months astray, is gone just 15 years of age.
Edgelarks there, Hannah Martin and Philip Henry. I've played you Philip Henry's solo version of Tim Eadie's tune Little Bird before, and indeed I've played you a recent Tim Eadie version and a version by Tim Eadie and Ross Ainsley, but Tim wrote the tune for Sharon Shannon, and here's her version, and if I'm not mistaken this is Tim Eadie on guitar with Sharon anyway. Little Bird. Well, it's interesting to hear that version of Little Bird with so many instruments in there after listening to Tim's solo guitar and Phil's solo guitar versions a lot recently. A great album I played you quite a few tracks from a while ago now was The Unquiet by Pauline Scanlan, and from it this is her version of The Bird in the Bush. It's a great time of year for hearing birdsong around the place, and if you're not sure what it is, try using the Merlin app on your phone. It'll recognise birdsong and tell you which birds are around you. I find it really helps with beginning to recognise birdsong. One that's easy to recognise is the Chattering Magpie, and this is a tune of that name by the Chieftains. I could have filled the whole show with Martin Simpson's songs about birds. He's a great champion of nature and of birds in particular. He's got songs about hen harriers, about swallows, but the one I've chosen to play is called Toy Soldiers, and it's about an introduced species, the pheasant. That very large, seemingly not very intelligent and not very good at flying bird that people seem to want to shoot. Can't be much of a challenge, can it? Anyway, here is Martin's song, Toy Soldiers.
Built this road I'm on, straight and true, and brought for sport these jeweled birds like scattered beads along the verge, all smashed by cars. Inside the wood the jay she flies, shy forester of worth, and carries acorns far and wide to bury in the earth. Dusty pink and grey and white, blue-spangled livery. The keeper blasts her from the air and nails her to a tree. The gibbeters a cruel show, gamekeepers Calvary. Eyeless sockets, grinning corpses rotting needlessly. Stoat and weasel, crow and buzzard hanging in the air. Judge condemned and murdered for the crime of being there. The Romans built this road I'm on, straight and true, and brought for sport these jeweled birds like scattered beads along the verge, or smashed by cars. Along the ride the corn grows high, rank nettles choke the earth. Rusting wire, splintered cages mark the place of birth of 30 million toy soldiers raised just to die, bred to be broken the moment they fly. I dreamed I saw them pushed in their thousands, bloody the river as she flows by. The Romans built this road I'm on, straight and true, and brought for sport these jeweled birds like scattered beads along the verge, or smashed by cars.
That Martin Simpson song is from the album Murmurs by the trio Simpson, Cutting, Kerr. So you also heard Andy Cutting on Squeezebox and Nancy Kerr on violin. Now the raven appears a lot in folk music. There's one particularly well-known song, which is Child Ballad number 26, Twa Corbies, the Two Ravens. It's also known as the Three Ravens. And there's many different versions, but this is one of my favourites from one of my favourite folk albums, Popular to Country Belief by Robin and Barry Dransfield, The Two Ravens.
As I was walking on alone, I saw two ravens make their moan. One and two, I heard the say, oh, where shall we go and dine today, oh? Where shall we go and dine today? It's way behind yon fallen dike. Oh, there I've seen a new slain knight, and there's nobody knows that he lies there, oh. But his hawk, his hound, and his lady fair, oh. His hawk, his hound, his lady fair. His hawk is to the hunting gone, his hound to fetch the wildfowl home. His lady's taken another mate on, so we can have our dinner sweet, oh. So we can have our dinner sweet. You sit on his horse's back, while I from his head his eyes I'll take. We'll have a lock of his golden hair, oh, to mend our nest when it grows bare, oh. Mend our nest when it grows bare. There's nobody here for him to mourn, and nobody knows where he is gone, or his white bones when they are bare, oh, the wind shall blow forevermore, oh. The wind shall blow forevermore.
Another album I've not played anything from for a long time is an album by fellow Pynins, an American duo, called Lady Mondegreen. I think I said when I last played something from this that a mondegreen is now a phrase used in folk music to mean a misheard lyric, due to the fact that somebody was singing about somebody called Lady Mondegreen when the original lyric was actually laid him on the green. Here's a track from that album called She's Like the Swallow.
She's like the swallow that flies on high. She's like the river that never runs dry. She's like the sun beaming on the lee shore. I love my love Then out of these roses she made a bed, a scarlet pillow for her head. She laid her down, no more she did say. And then this maiden's heart it did She's like the swallow that flies on high. She's like the river that never runs dry. She's like the sun beaming on the lee shore. I love my but love is no.
Well, that's certainly very interesting. Fellow Pynins. Let's have some tunes again. This is the title track from the Dervish album, The Thrush in the Storm. Well, if all goes to plan, this should be the last pre-recorded show. Before I get back from my trip to Norway, I should be travelling back on Friday and Saturday this week. And so hope to be in the studio on Monday morning to record you a new show for next week. So I'm actually recording this one about 4 weeks early, so it's difficult to say what live music is happening other than the usual sessions, which of course are O'Donnell's in Douglas on Wednesday night from about 8:45, the Mitre in Ramsey again from 8:45 but on Friday. There'll be a Sunday afternoon session which may be in Laxey Sailing Club, but with it being TT I'm not totally sure about that. There should be the Folk Club at the Buffs Club in Ramsey on the Thursday evening, and I'm sure there's loads of other great music happening because it's TT fortnight. You may have noticed that I've not yet played you a Manx tune or a Manx related track. I thought I'd give this one another spin, because it went down very well with some people I know last time I played it. It's called Ushag, and it's by an Irish band called Huartan, and it was released as a single earlier this year. It's their fresh take on Ushag Vegroy, Little Red Bird, the traditional lullaby from the Isle of Man, and it's a cracking track. Anyway, I hope to be back next week to play you more great folk and roots music from the Isle of Man and from all around the world, and I hope you'll join me then.